What's going on, Raider Nation? Welcome back to another episode of the Raider Critique, where we don't drink the corporate Kool-Aid and we tell the truth with intensity, regardless on who cares about what the hell I'm saying or not. I'm going to jump on over here, man. We're going to go into the stats. Of course, we're going to go over that first. Yeah, you got to go over the fucking stats. So, let's move that over. What's going on, everybody in the chat? I'll get to y'all in a minute, man. Okay. So, Derek Carr went 15 of 26 for 101 yards, 3.9 average. No touchdowns, 1 interception. He was sacked 3 times for 20 yards at a 50.3 rating. Jarrett Stidham made an appearance for the first time in regular season. He went 8 of 13 for 72 yards at a 5.5 yard average. He was sacked once for 8 yards at a rating of 76.4. Josh Jacobs carried the ball 10 times for 43 yards at a 4.3 yard average. Derek Carr 1 for -1. Devontae Adams 1 for -1. Matthias Farley on a botched fake punt 1 for -3. Our leading wide receiver was Mac Hollins, 7 receptions for 64 yards at a 9.1 average, 14 being his long, and he was targeted 8 times. Foster Moreau, 6 receptions for 31 yards at a 5.2 yard average. He was targeted 9 times, 12 was his long. Keelan Cole, 2 for 30. Amir Abdullah, 4 for 28. Josh Jacobs, 2 for 11. Hunter Renfrow, 1 for 6. Devontae Adams, 1 for 3. And Jesper Horsted was targeted once, didn't make a reception. Neither team fumbled. You look at defense, man, we were led by total tackles by Divine Diablo with 14. None of those were solo. Anthony Averett was number 2 with 8. Denzel Perryman also had 8. 6 of those were solo. Max Crosby, 5. Rocky Sin, 6. Deron Harmon, 4 for 2. He had 2 of those were solo. 1 of those was a pass deflection. Rocky Sin had a pass deflection. I mean, you can look at the stats, and you can kind of see where they ate us up. They ate us up down the middle of the field. It's why Divine Diablo, Anthony Averett, Denzel Perryman, and Max Crosby's had the most tackles. You know, then you start getting to our outside guys, which were next, because after they were done eating us up on the inside, they ate us up on the outside as well. You look at their stats, Andy Dalton outplayed Derek Carr. 22 completions on 30 attempts, 229 yards, 7.6 average, 2 touchdowns. He wasn't sacked at all, and his quarterback rating was 117.2. Alvin Kamara had 18 carries for 62 yards. Yeah, you remember Raider Nation, how he was talking shit about us last week, about how they were going to whoop our ass. Well, he did not disappoint. 18 carries for 62 at a 3.4 average on 1 touchdown. But he also showed up in the passing game with 9 receptions for 96 yards, 10.7 average, and 2 touchdowns. He was targeted 10 times. Olave had 5 receptions for 52, averaging 10.4. Yada, yada, yada. They ate us up. They literally ate us up. Well, they ate this team up, that's for sure. What I didn't understand is that how they ate us up. You know what I mean? Just that this was not supposed to happen. At all, period. Give me 1 second, y'all. I got to go and pause this right quick. Unreal. Yeah, could you go check that out for me, bro? So we lose 24-0 to the New Orleans Saints with literally Andy Dalton as the backup quarterback. Unreal. Really can't understand how they came in there and just ate us up like that. Josh Jacobs had 10 carries for 43 yards. This was probably one of our biggest issues, is that we could not get the run game going. But the passing game wasn't all that much better. Devontae Adams, 1 catch for 3 yards. I mean, there was one catch that he actually made that I thought that he made, that I knew that he made, even by the footage that they had of his feet going down. That was a catch. You know, that was one thing that I noticed, and my fantasy team definitely suffered from it. That was for sure. But the realest point on this is that nobody on this team showed up to play. The coaching staff obviously is not looking. They're looking at what they're doing. They're not looking at our opponent and what they do best and how to stop it. Mac Hollins was our best wide receiver today. He was the only one pretty much who showed up. 7 receptions for 64 yards at a 9.1 yard average. Mac Hollins did great today. I don't know where the hell the rest of the team was. Our linebackers were getting cooked down the middle all day long. I mean, literally, by the time the third quarter rolled around and about 10 minutes was left, I couldn't fucking stomach anymore. Our secondary is literally non-existent. I've watched this team completely fall apart. Our secondary was being cooked by rookies. Andy Dalton was just shredding our defense down the middle, and then when we covered down the middle, here comes fucking, they're going to go outside, and Rock Ya-Sin is not in the right place at the right time. Anthony Averett's getting burned. It's been an absolute it was a dog shit of a show today. Our offense couldn't move the ball. The defense couldn't stop a nosebleed. And all we did was get rid of Jonathan Hankins? Derek will look like a statue in that damn pocket. I'm telling you, I thought we were going to see more running out of him this year. You know, especially since the last couple games that we played, he was kind of mobile, moving around the pocket and doing what he had to do to stretch the play and wait for a guy to get open to where he could hit him. But he started off with one overthrown pass to Mac Hollins, and I swear that was like pretty much the way our day was going to go at that moment. I just kind of knew it right then and there. 15 for 26 for 101 yards at a 3.9 yard average. What is this, high school football? You know, I have a 50.3 quarterback rating. And then he got benched for Jarrett Stidham. And Jarrett Stidham did much better in that aspect. He came in 8 of 13, actually got the team past midfield compared to what Derek Carr could do this game. Derek Carr couldn't get the team past midfield. It's unreal what the money that we have seen dropped into this offense, and this offense be the weak link of this football team. We're extremely inconsistent. We can sit there and hang with the Kansas City Chiefs, but then get blown out by the New Orleans Saints, who don't have Jarvis Landry on the field, who didn't have Michael Thomas on the field. They had rookies, and then Andy Dalton, who goes 4-0 against the Raiders in his career. He's never lost to us. Him and Ryan Tannehill seem to be the kryptonite of this football team, because it doesn't matter how bad they are. If they come and face us, it's a guaranteed W for them. Play calling was absolutely fucking horrendous, but execution was even worse. And I think we were outcoached. I made this backdrop weeks ago. Hell, I've even used it before. You know, this team, this regime, we were outplayed, we were outcoached, and we were straight up manhandled. And we were manhandled by a team who was less talented. So where does the problem lie, Raider Nation? Where does the problem lie? Because I am so sick and tired of trying to blame this on one person. I'm so sick and tired of trying to blame this on the coaching. You know, I'm tired of the coaching as much as everybody else is, but I'm also tired of the team not executing as well. So where do we go from here, man? And anyway, I want to go ahead and bring up the chat because I have not brought up the chat yet. I want to holler out everybody in the chat. Thank you for being here. All right, man. Look at all y'all in here, man. Van City Raider, Circus Raider, Luke Newcomb, Robert Pena. Van City Raider, okay, yep. Fierce Raider. Gord Pedersen. Brian Rodriguez. Jack Bauer, my man, Raider 7528. Man, it's good to see y'all here, man. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Luke Newcomb, Brian Rod. Man, hey, I've been talking about it. I don't know if I would like to trade him. You know what I mean? But I do want to know, is it time for a fire sale here? I mean, I don't think so. I think that this team just really needs to get acclimated with whatever the hell they're trying to do. I don't understand why this team falls apart the way they do. We can see greatness from them, but then we can see absolute dog shit, which is what we saw today. And I think that some of this falls on coaching. But I think some of this shit falls on the players too. It's this shit every year. And you know, that's another thing that I want to touch on because my girl said it best. She was like, you know, being a Raiders fan is kind of like being that kid who their dad told them that he would be right back. He just had to go to the store and go get a pack of cigarettes and a gallon of milk. That the dad never comes back. And that kid is sitting there waiting for that dad to come back and hoping and praying that one day he's going to walk right back through that door with that gallon of milk and that pack of cigarettes. But each day he is let down. All up to the point to where it becomes his birthday and his dad calls him, tells him he's going to be there. Or that boy's got his first football game and his dad says he's going to be in the stands only to not show up. That's what this feels like, Raider Nation. That's what it feels like to me. It was a great great metaphor, I would say. Because that's exactly what it feels like being a part of this fan base with our loyalty and everything and our hopes and how they get our hopes up and our dreams up and then just totally smack us in the face. All this money dumped into the offense. For the offense not to even be able to get across the 50-yard line is fucking asinine. Does this fall on coaching? Does this fall on the players? I think it falls on both. This whole fucking team lost, including Derek Carr, who completely fucking imploded. Darren Waller not being on the field, injured with that hamstring, that hurt us. Foster Moreau and Mac Hollins were the only ones who showed up in the passing game. Jared Stidham actually did something. He came in and he went 8 of 13. I can't believe that he actually outperformed Carr. It fucking dumbfounded the shit out of me that we didn't do it earlier. That we didn't pull him, that we didn't try to at least ignite some type of spark after we went down 17-0. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, Raider Nation. By the time 10 minutes came into the fucking third quarter, I shut it the fuck off. I couldn't watch it anymore. I was watching this team slowly learn how to unplay the game of football. And it just hurts because just knowing everything that we have gone through, what we go through every single solitary year as this fan base, I feel like that we are beaten like redheaded stepchildren. But damn it, we can turn this shit around, but are we going to do it this year? No, probably not. We're not going to do it until we finally start holding some of these guys accountable. What's going on, Bourbon, man? Good to see you, bro. I haven't seen you in one of my lives in quite a while. That's another thing too, man. I'm sick and tired of paying a $35 million price tag on a quarterback who can barely get over 100 yards passing. You have a guy like Devontae Adams and Hunter Renfrow that you are throwing to, and you are telling me that you cannot throw over 100 fucking yards. You have got to be bullshitting. Alright, they didn't even have Marcus Lattimore out there. They had a rookie corner on Devontae Adams all day long who was shutting him down. How is this possible? I mean, they literally game planned for us. Did our coaching staff game plan for them? Because it damn sure didn't look like it. It damn sure looked like that they were going to run to see what worked. They saw what worked last week, and they were going to run the same shit this week. And they game planned for it. Our coaches are fucking garbage. That's really bottom line. Because how do you have this type of star-studded fucking roster and you're 2-5 on the season? Not to mention getting blown out by a Saints team who literally didn't have all their starters in the game. This does fall on coaching. It falls on those players too, though, bro. The fucking absolute dog shit play of the players. When Derek Carr overthrew that first pass, I knew we were in for a long day. Man, it's good to see all y'all here, bro. But this is just me. The press conference, we'll just have to learn from our mistakes and play better next time. Thanks for my paycheck. Peace out. That's Derek Carr. That's Derek Carr to a fucking T, man. Carr, Averett, Abram gotta go. Well, I can tell you this. Averett to me gets kind of a pass, man, because he hasn't really been in the game. He's been hurt. He's going to have time to develop. You know what I mean? With Nate Hobbs being out, it's been the issue. What we're asking Averett to do is to come in off of injury, who hasn't played since preseason, and come in and take that number one slot where, you know, the hole is at where Nate Hobbs is missing. Dude, that's really big shoes to fill, especially when the commentators are talking about Nate Hobbs being one of the best cornerbacks in the league. You know, so I can't really halt Averett for that. But I can definitely say something about the secondary as a whole. They don't seem like they're gelling together. Man, Morig had that pick, bro, if he would have just put both feet in bounds. You know what I mean? It's mental errors like that are coming from the players that are driving me insane. And it's driving us all insane because it's small things like that can shift the momentum of the game. You know what I'm saying? It's just little small things, and too many little small things and missed opportunities can very well stack up, which is exactly what they did today. Our offense, I have never seen so many 3-and-outs. So many 3-and-outs from this team that I would have never have said that I would have seen that many 3-and-outs looking at this roster back in the preseason. No fucking way I would have ever thought this whatsoever. Couldn't make this shit up. The plane should have left them in New Orleans. I think a lot of our key players are not practicing all week. They're really hurt. Hey, that's a very good point. And Derek Carr not being as mobile as we've seen him in weeks past because he has a back injury definitely showed in today's game. You know, maybe, you know, playing injured probably isn't the best idea for a certain amount of these players depending on what injury they do have, which is kind of what is making Darren Waller look smart right now, not playing on that hamstring injury, knowing that Morrow probably will look better than him since he does have that injury. And maybe Stidham should have been in there all game long due to Derek Carr having that back injury, but Derek Carr with that fight in him is always going to be sitting there trying to get on the field. You know? This shit wouldn't go on in a Jim Harbaugh regime. Dude, Jim Harbaugh ain't coming here, man. He loves Michigan so much. They've already paid him a shit ton of money. That's not happening, bro. Derek Carr's a clown. Is concentrated 100% pure ass juice. Now, that was the very first comment in the chat before this live ever happened. And I definitely am glad that you put that out there because at least I get to highlight it and be like, look, all right, I've been a firm believer in Derek Carr. I still wear his jersey with pride. I put my patch on his jersey with pride. I dig Derek Carr, the man. All right? But Derek Carr needs to play with more heart. And Derek Carr is proving all the naysayers right. That he's too inconsistent. You know, as much as I love the guy, and as much as I care for him as a human being, and I hope that he has a wonderful life, you know, I think that if he doesn't turn it around and start passing more than 101 yards a game, that, you know, maybe his days are numbered here. And maybe even though he holds all the records for what the Raiders, you know, for any Raiders quarterback of what we had in years past and in franchise history, maybe it'll be time for him to move on. You know, I always said, and I was even saying it back 2 years ago, that maybe Derek Carr could be like other players, you know, where they would thrive in different scenery. You know, and it was always evident because the fan base was always so divided on Derek Carr. You know, you had guys like me who stood all up for him, and then you had people who just absolutely dog shit hated him, and it wasn't really because of his play, but it was just because of who he was. You know, I mean, that was the way I saw it, because back in the day, he wasn't bad. You know, this game here, man, I think that back injury had a lot to do with why in the hell he wasn't very mobile and why he wasn't able to move around, but I'm not going to make any excuses for it, man. We demand better. We need more out of this team. With as much money that was spent on this offense, this offense should have produced some type of fucking points. How do you spend this much money on a star-studded offense like this and not score any fucking points? Does that fall on Derek Carr? Does that fall on the fucking point that the offensive line was crumbling every time the ball was snapped? This offensive line is shitty in the pass block. They cannot pass block worth a damn. You know what I mean? But Derek Carr's also holding on to the goddamn ball too long. Hesitating. You know, I mean, it's not mistakes at one position. All these motherfuckers are making mistakes. And that's at damn near every position, which makes us look like the bad news bears out there. We look like shit. We do. We look like shit. Damn. Hey, salute, OG, man. I'm glad to see you here, bro. We are a fucking shit show right now. We don't look like, we don't know whether we're coming or going. You know, and that's the thing, is like, we looked a lot better in the previous 3 weeks than we definitely did this week. Who would have ever thought that we were going to get shut out by the motherfucking Saints? What's going on, Ern, man? Fucking love to see you here, bro. See, I used to believe in Carr, but he ain't winning us Super Bowls. That's for damn sure. No more excuses. He's got Adams. What else does he need? What about continuity in between the coaching staff and the players and the captains on the team? How about a legitimate coaching staff who actually programs themselves to study the opponent instead of focusing so much more on what scheme they're running and forcing the players to run his scheme whether they fit it or not? The argument can go both ways. The argument can go both ways, but I can tell you this right now. People are giving up. I bet you that locker room is giving up on this coaching staff and just they're just going to ride it out until next year. Because to me, mentally, it seemed like the players just aren't there. Because how the fuck do you get blown out? You don't even score a point. Not one fucking point, dude. Records don't mean crap without preseason success. I gave DC a pass for the first game meltdown. I believed in him when we choked against the Cards. But I'm fed up now. He holds the ball too long. Mr. Reliable Colton Miller was getting beat all day. Facts as well. The O-line was straight dog shit today, but DC was starting staring the D lineman down before he ever gets sacked on most of those lapses. That is 100% correct. He froze up like a deer in headlights. You know what I'm saying? But it was mistakes all the way around. Devontae Adams was fucked on that catch. But man, there was other times where he had the opportunity to catch the ball and he did not. You know, he also wasn't really targeted very much because they were draping all over him. That rookie corner of the Saints, that motherfucker must be a star. And nobody's ever heard about that fucking guy. But he shut down Devontae Adams quick to where we had to go down the middle to Morrow most of the damn time. And then, of course, Hollins. We were going to Hollins because he was the one who was drawing the single coverage. You know, where do we go from here? Because I know this Raiders team, this is a very good margarita, by the way. And it's probably the only reason why I'm even able to keep my fucking cool in here. Because, man, I was bitching. By the third quarter, I jump over into Raider Ben's channel. And Raider Ben is just fucking going at it, bro. He is hot. He is fucking hot. And I feel his pain. I feel his pain. Because, man, we always watch this fucking team melt down against and play down to our fucking opponents every single time. If we have a guaranteed fucking win, we'll play down to those assholes. It's almost a guarantee. What's going on, Herman? This isn't all on DC either. What the fuck's were McDaniels and Grams doing all game? Were they fucking playing Madden? Ben had a clown mask on and was playing circus music. Yeah, dude. And hey, that shit was great, dude. I'm not gonna lie, it was great. I love going over there. I love checking him out. What's going on, Pyro? But, I mean, this is where we're at now. Where do we go on from here? We have a few things we can do before... I mean, are we... I don't think there's any way we can trade now. I think this is the end. You know? We're going to have to probably ride this on out. And... this is the team that we're going to have to use. And, you know, we had such high expectations for this team. And it's not there. It's not there. Like, this team is completely gone into just an absolute tailspin, a dumpster fire, if you will. And, you know, that's another thing I'd like to touch on, too, because I've actually been real harsh on a lot of Raider content providers about making money on the shield. You know what I mean? By taking this shield that's right here behind me, you know, and making their own profit off of it. And I want to look every single one of you in the face that I've ever talked down to, that I've ever talked shit about, that I've ever said anything about how fucking unloyal you are for fucking taking the shield and making money on it. I want to apologize to every single one of you. Because with all the heartache and all the pain that we go through year in and year out with this motherfucking team, at least you guys are taking a way to win off of it in one way, shape, or form or another. Since we can't win on the field, at least Raider Nation can win. You know what I'm saying? So definitely go out there and support all your content creators, man. Because they go in here and fucking day in and day out on watching this shit show of a franchise not get it right year in and year out, game after game after game after game, and they stick with it. You know? And it sucks that it gets to become money driven like that. But fuck, when the team's not winning, you know, at least they find a way to find a positive side from being a disgruntled Raider fan who's been disappointed year after year. And I salute y'all for that. And for real, I'm sorry that I've ever fucking talked shit about any one of y'all who are out here making money on the Shield, because now I understand why you do it. Now I understand why you do it. But it's really good to fucking see all y'all in here, man. I definitely wanted to go ahead and get that in there because I've been thinking about that ever since this game came through. Now, it looks like we need to clean up like the shitbox in Jacksonville. Next week, I want to see another W, no excuses. No shit. We cannot lose to the Jacksonville Jaguars next week if we expect to be able to contend and even be able to become a wild card team. I'm not even thinking playoffs. Right now, I'm just thinking wins. We got to get wins, man. And to lose a game like this to the Saints, we need to have a rebound and a bounce back and a W against the Jacksonville Jaguars team, who also has been having issues trying to figure out their new coaching staff and their new scheme and everything like that, man. They've been having issues just like we have. Although they have looked better than us in in these last 3 or 4 games. I need the Shrooms bin was on. Circus Raiders salute Cool Kev McNutt, spent all the money on the offense, and now he can't even score a field goal. No shit. Exactly. Now we got to make a trade before the deadline. It looks like Jack Conklin is it. Hopefully we can get a gut like Payne too. See, I would love to be able to get Payne, but I don't know how much they're going to want to give up for him. But if we've got some time to get some moves done, I think we need to go ahead and hurry up and get that situated quick, fast, and in a hurry, because this team is going down with the ship in with absolutely no recollection of having a lifeboat on board. So, I mean, it really is. It's going down really bad right now. And I feel bad for any player coming over here right now. See, and the Broncos beat the Jags today, which means that the Jaguars are definitely beatable, and we should definitely be able to beat them since we already have beaten the Broncos. Now, per Gutierrez, another long meeting between Davis and McDaniels. Yeah, I think that needed to be done. I'm actually surprised because if this were Al, and this team, what we have on paper, the money that was spent on the offense, there's no reason to be having a goose egg at all, Raider Nation, on the scoreboard. We have to demand better. And I do believe that every single one of us do demand better. But the coaching staff has to demand and achieve better. The players on the field have to demand and achieve better. We should have kept Rich Bisaccia, man. We really should have kept Rich Bisaccia. I don't know who you're talking about, bro, but most of us Raider fans are loyal. That's what makes us Raiders. All right, if we weren't loyal, we'd be fucking New England or Kansas City or fucking San Francisco fans. You know, fucking most unloyal fan bases in all of sports. Because they will fucking hop around. They're the type of motherfuckers who got everybody's jersey in their closet. You know? But if we do keep up with this fucking shit, if we do keep up with all this fucking bullshit that we are doing on the field, bro, we're not going to win any more games. We're too fucking inconsistent. Now, our field goal team can kick 56 yards. And they should have put up at least 12 points. And if we ran Jacobs from behind anyway, problem was, man, is that Jacobs wasn't getting no push up front. As much as that we were actually getting on the offensive line in weeks past, that offensive line was not run blocking very well. And Jacobs, with that 43 yards, fought for every single yard that he had to get. You know, that offensive line looked like fucking absolute dog shit today. You're damn right, you got to be built different to be a Raider fan. Because year in and year out, these motherfuckers lose, and we fucking here. We don't sway, we don't move. You know what I mean? We're right here. And we'll sit here and we'll talk about it all day long, how bad this team may be or how good this team may be, but either way, we all still stick here. That's what loyal Raider fans do. You know, motherfuckers who were here before the free agent and trade bargaining agreement. You know, we knew what the fuck loyalty was, and we still do. And we try to install it into every single new Raider fan coming in. To everybody who hasn't been here as long as we have. You know, and we also need to be united. You know, right here. I'm a long-time Raiders fan. If this shit continues, I'm gonna fucking switch to fucking figure skating. And OG's been here longer than me. At least 10 years, maybe 20. You know what I'm saying? This team is waning on every single one of us. I'm sure that this team has caused major health issues in between the Raider Nation, in between like mental issues as well. You know, heart attacks, strokes. I'm sure the Raiders have been a part of a lot of it because, man, there was times. There's been times. Shit, a couple weeks ago I was having chest pains over this team when we lost to the Chiefs. It never used to be that way, but now that I'm above 40, I gotta really watch what I drink. I gotta stop drinking all them fucking Red Bulls. And maybe that'll help. You know? What point do we give McDaniels the boot? But here's a better question. Brian, and thank you for showing up, man. I think it's the first time I've ever seen you here. Here's a question that you actually need to ask yourself. At what point, when we decide to give McDaniels the boot, is Derek Carr still the quarterback? Do we give McDaniels the boot first before we give Derek Carr the boot? And that's going to have to be a decision that Mark's going to have to make. You know, because Derek Carr is Mark's guy. That's why Derek Carr has not left this club. Right? Mark does understand about loyalty, and he has put all of his chips into Derek Carr. You can bet your ass on that. All right? I'm pretty sure that he is. Look, when I saw him standing out there next to his quarterback in that playoff game, I knew right then and there that Derek Carr is a Mark Davis guy. All right? He's a Mark Davis guy, so I don't know if he's going anywhere or not. Okay, but I do know one thing. We need to get this shit together. This fucking offense, this roster is too deep to be fucking suffering from losses like this. What would our record be right now if John Gruden was head coach, Randy? Randy says 4-4. You're probably right. I think that we would at least be 4-4 after 8 weeks, or maybe even 4-3, because we only played 7 games. We're 2-5 now. So in all actuality, man, you know, the team really needs to get it together. And we should have left fucking Josh McDaniels in KC, you're damn right. Yeah, well, if it was his first season, if Gruden was coach, we would be 5-2 and just about to be going on a 4-game losing streak, which is also a huge possibility too, Ern. That's a huge possibility too, you know, because that's what we saw out of the last regime when they were here as well, because we'd go off in spurts. But when is the spurt going to happen for this regime? Winning one game at the time, and with them spaced out and being sporadically done, doesn't seem like a win to me. We have zero speed at the wide receiver position. Well, we had speed. We got rid of Tyrod Johnson. We sent him to the practice squad, then we cut him. Mac Hollins has got some decent speed. You know what I mean? But it also doesn't help when your quarterback's overthrowing or underthrowing the wide receiver. You know? We need to get our timing correct. I think the timing is the issue because, like I said before, and what other Raiders podcasters have said before is that, dude, a thinking man is a slow man. And they've made this scheme, the coaching regime has made this scheme so fucking complicated that everybody's going to have to think before they act, instead of acting and not having to think at all. And that's something we've got to fix, because that's the only thing that makes any sense on why in the hell you have such a badass football team on paper, but they don't produce on the field. And see, McDaniels isn't going anywhere this year. And the only way you move on from him is if you get somebody like Sean Payton. And that's another thing too, because I don't think that we're actually going to be able to get out of this, Raider Nation. I'd hate to be the fucking sad negative one about this. But I'm going to tell you what the hell is going to happen next. Alright? Let me go ahead and take a drink of my margarita, because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen next. And ain't none of you going to fucking like it. Alright? When we went back and we signed Jon Gruden for that 10-year deal, it showed how much loyalty Mark Davis really has. That's Al's son. There are certain traits that he's going to take from his dad, and he's going to bring with him, and he's going to use. All right? He dumped his loyalty into Jon Gruden. He was willing to put that 10-year contract together to ride with him until this team won. Well, unfortunately, Jon Gruden had that issue with the emails and the debacle that actually got him jettisoned from the league. Now, Mark Davis has taken his loyalty and he's moved over to Josh McDaniels. Mark Davis is a very loyal dude. And I'm going to tell you this right now, man. Mark Davis ain't going to give up on Josh McDaniels. We're going to ride with Josh McDaniels at least another 3 years. At least this is what I'm afraid of. Now, he's already had a second meeting. I guess they are having a meeting right now. Another stern meeting in between the two. But that doesn't mean that Josh McDaniels is going to be out of here anytime soon. Now with Derek Carr, with all the hate that I've heard on Derek Carr and everything coming through, on the critique standpoint, Derek Carr will not be going anywhere. Derek Carr is a Mark Davis guy, and Mark Davis believes in Derek Carr. Derek Carr's not going to go anywhere. What Mark Davis is going to do is he's going to force Josh McDaniels and Mark Davis to be able to work together to turn this shit around, or somebody's going to end up getting fired. And the person who's probably going to wind up getting fired, in my experience, from what I can see from Mark, and that's just watching him, that's just being a fan watching from the outside, Josh McDaniels, you're going to be the first guy to lose their job. Alright, but they're going to sit there and they're going to ride it out with what we got now. We are stuck with this team right now, and the only thing that we can do is hope and pray that they fucking start getting it. Because if not, man, a lot of us are going to have to fucking sit. We're going to have to take a step back. Just for our own health purposes, we're going to have to take a step back and not start taking this shit so seriously. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, that's really what's going on, because Carr ain't fucking going to go anywhere. But I don't think McDaniels is not going to go anywhere, and I don't think he's fucking worth it, because look, we were going to dump that time into Jon Gruden no matter what it took. And I think that shocked, with the emails and everything that happened, that shocked Mark Davis even more than most. And he went reaching, and that's why he went for a Belichick guy. Somebody that he thought that he could dump his full trust into. So I do believe that McDaniels is a terrible decision maker, and he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. But Derek Carr can't call himself a leader and be on pace for 18 touchdown passes in today's NFL. Hey, that's actually a really good point, bro. And we haven't beaten anybody that actually brings a challenge. Exactly. The Denver Broncos were still trying to find themselves. They actually squeaked out a win today against Jacksonville. But it wasn't because of their excellent offensive play. It was because of the interception at the end of the game. See, everybody wanted Harbaugh. Man, I would have loved to have gotten Harbaugh, but I don't think that we could have offered him enough money to coax him away from Michigan. Because he would have wanted a crazy per year $1 million fucking contract. And yes, hey, that man, I just saw one right here, and I'm sorry, I'm not real heat, Dirty's gnome. Thank you for coming in, Dirty's gnome. And Mount Gist 93. It's been the same story for 20 years, but it's Raider Nation for life. You just got to be loyal to the team and hope shit works out for us going forward. That's it. Because when you've been sitting here fucking riding or dying for over 20 years, you ain't got no choice but. It's down with the ship, baby. If the fucking ship's going down fast, hey, man, I hope we got some fucking life preservers. But either way, we're going to get that ship off the fucking ground. We're going to build it back up. We're going to patch that hole, and we'll sail again. But damn, when is it going to fucking happen? The patience that this fan base has, the patience of the OG fan base that this franchise has, is immeasurable. Because they've been waiting for years. OG, you've been waiting for a Super Bowl. Shit, when was the last time? Well, how old were you, OG, when we won the Super Bowl last? All right, and anybody who knows OG, bro, OG's been around for a long time here, bro, with the Raider Nation. Just like Captain Jack. They've seen it all and they've done it all. They've seen us when we've won, and they've seen us at our lowest times. Now, Jim Harbaugh would have got the same deal as John Gruden. Yeah, you're probably right. And everybody wanted Harbaugh over Gruden. I actually couldn't believe that we were able to coax Gruden from ESPN because that was such an easy paying job. It was a cushy paying job, And Harbaugh ain't it neither. We need a Brian Daboll type coach. Look at the Giants. I wanted Daboll too. Carr looks below average with best wide receiver in the league. What the fuck? Send him to the Bears for Roquan and the draft next quarterback. Yeah, why wouldn't you want a coach like Harbaugh with a 68% NFL winning record? Exactly. We're going to ride it out, and we got the team tatted. We got the team tatted, and that's for life. Commitment to accepts forever, big dog. Oh, yeah, and it's crazy that we have the patience to stand 10 toes for our squad. No joke, bro. What's going on, All Eyes, man? Thank you for stopping in. But I'm going to go ahead and end this live now, man. It's really been a really shitty Sunday. My girl got the keys locked in the vehicle. I had to pay Papa Lock to come out there and get the damn keys out the car. So, it seems like I lost in fantasy. The fucking Raiders lost. I've been losing all the way around today. But hey, what makes it a win is seeing all of y'all in here, man, supporting the content, hanging out with me, fucking feeling my pain. It's nice to have all of you here. And I thank every single one of y'all for coming here, man, and supporting the channel. And, if you're new here, man, don't let it be your last time here, man. Hit that thumbs up. Hit the fucking bell for notifications. And, subscribe to the channel. It builds up the algorithms. It gets my content out there to more Raider fans just like yourself. And if you like my point of views, hey, man, it's, fucking why not share it? Because really, I do this for free. And I do that for a reason. I do it for the love of the nation and do it for the love of the Raiders. That's the only reason why the fuck I do this. I've never tried to use financial gain for it, but I'll tell you what. I'm not going to hate on anybody else who does. Because, man, with the shit show that we've been fucking goddamn dealt with all these years, at least other people are finding a way to feel good about this football team. Because the way this football team plays on the field, man, sometimes we just ain't got nothing to be happy about. So anyway, I'm Raider Gun, man. This has been your fucking post-game episode of the Raider Critique. I know it's early, but I had to get this shit off my chest because I can't wait until Halloween when I need to be taking my kids out trick-or-treating to be focusing on a team who doesn't obviously give a fuck about me or the rest of us because they can't seem to win a goddamn game or score a point against a team that we should have fucking absolutely trampled on. So, it is what it is, man. I'm going to get back to my family. I'm going to get back to winning. And hopefully this team can figure out how to win too. So, until then, I hope good health to all of you. I thank you all for stopping in. Love on your families, man. Hold them tight, dude. And lick your wounds, bro. We got another week coming up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And hopefully we can turn this shit around. Like I said, man, when it comes down to this team, the team might lose, but Raider Nation always wins, baby. And it's Raider Nation for life.